Hey, welcome back. Gary Brown Forging On. I hope you all are doing well. Have a blessed day. This is first of a series. Um, I'm going in for knee replacement. Actually, I'm getting both my knees replaced. So that should be fun. But I'm tired of them hurting. They don't hurt like when I'm sitting right here. Don't hurt at all. It's just more when I'm standing after a while or walking. They just get to where they just hurt. They don't bend. They pop all the time. When I'm sitting in a chair and I get up, then they're both popping, and they kind of like pop in place. And once they finally kind of go get that pop in place, then I can walk and it doesn't bother me that much. So I was kind of leery of having it done, but I went to see the same orthopedic I go to. He's at Elite Sports Medicine in Nashville, but he did my hip replacement, and I'm going to have him do my knees. So I had a first visit with him, but not with him. I had it with his physician assistant lady, and she had did some X-rays on my knees and said, basically both my knees are shot. My right knee, which I call my bad knee, my right knee I damaged in my 20s in a motorcycle wreck. I didn't hit anything other than I was in a big gold wing, and everybody on the interstate stopped coming around the curve. Everybody was stopped, and I tried to stop it, and I didn't hit with anybody with the motorcycle, but the bike trying to stop it pitched and it went on the side and kind of sideways, and it slung me head first. I had a friend in the back, and he went up on the trunk, and I went head first into the tail light. I was only damaged under the car was my head taken out the tail light, my helmet. Wear helmets. I don't care what people say about don't need to wear helmets. They're just going to bust their head open. So anyway, but apparently I must have when I was going down, I either jarred my knee or tried to put my foot down. I don't really know what happened. I was hurting all over from the impact. And but I noticed for a while there, they took me to the hospital, and eventually they just X-rayed my knees. Actually, the first time they just sent me home, and then I went back and they X-rayed my knees, said they were sprained, wrapped them up in ace bandages, sent me home. But I could do stepping certain ways. Like I said, I was in my 20s, early 20s, and I just step a certain way and I would just fall over to the ground. It was like there was no support in that knee, and I strengthened it up over time, and everything was fine. I never knew anything more about it. And so probably 15 years or more years later, I was walking along, and my knee would just lock, and I'd have to, pow, I just sling my foot out, just like I'm kicking something, and make it pop back, to where I could use it again. And I'd walk and walk, clock, and it would lock back like this, and I'd pow, and I'd knock it out and walk. I just kept doing that. So I went to a orthopedic, and what happened is he did an MRI then, because they didn't do an MRI back when I had a motorcycle wreck. He did an MRI, and he said, your ACL has been gone so long, there's nothing even there anymore. So apparently, in the motorcycle wreck, I tore my ACL up, and it just disintegrated, I guess, over time. But having that little bit of motion in there caused my meniscus or cartilage, whatever they call that, in there to tear in half. And so half of that was flipping up in my joint and locking it. And then I'd bust it loose and it'd go back in, then it'd lock. It'd go. Anyway. So he said he repaired it. I found out years later, I thought he meant he repaired it, but he did. Repairing, you tear a meniscus, a cartilage, there's no blood flow to it, so there is no repairing it and healing it. All they can do is either, if it tears, they can clean up the edges so it's not rough. In this case, they just cut it out. So I was bone on bone on at least half of my joint. And so, I just went on and didn't notice much difference. And then for years, I had those Senvisc gel shots in my knee, and they'd help a little bit. And then it got to where it was more trouble to get them done than the benefit I was getting from them. So I quit that, and that was years and years ago. And I asked somebody I was in my 40s, I guess, late 40s, and I asked the orthopedic about it, and he said basically the only thing I do is replace my knee, but to wait as long as I could, and it really wasn't bothering me much at the time, so I just put it off. So now it's getting to where it's bothering me, and as the physician assistant was telling me, she says it's kind of like, think about, it's a nice smooth road, and then, or a real rough pothole road, because it's so rough, you get all the pops and joints and wear and tear, and things are hurting, and that's what I'm at. I got all this tore up mess in there, and it's just hurting. And I'll try if I can get. I took a picture of the X-rays, and I'll try to post it one side here or the other. But I'm gonna create a playlist like I did with my other surgeries. I got a playlist for my shoulder rotator cuff, for my hip replacement, and for my back surgery. Too many surgeries. Never had surgeries. Well, I had some small stuff, but like orthoscopic or just small, no-brainer stuff. And now all the stuff I did in my young age is catching up with me, so I'm having to get everything rebuilt. So anyway, I'll try to put a picture of my knees on here. You can't really probably tell much from it. She had to point stuff out, but like where your knees come together, the top and bottom of your knee joint. I didn't notice it, but she pointed out I'm getting bone spurs, which is just arthritis buildup. And the same thing, they took that off my rotator cuff, which made it nice and smooth again. And when they redid my hip, the socket had bone spur buildup all the way around the socket, and then where the joint went in, it had bone spur buildup all around it, and that caused limited movement. Well, this is getting bone spurs buildup around the edges of my knee, and they don't, like with the hip, they actually cut off that ball, and then they pound in that new joint. And maybe I'll put a picture of that. They took an X-ray of my hip while I was there, just as a follow, because they did my hip replacement, just to check how it was doing. And so they don't do that apparently with the knees. She says it looks like they got a whole new piece on there because it's covered up, but it's really more they just kind of grind it down and put a cap over it, and so it looks like it's a whole big replaced end of it, but you're just seeing the metal outside and your bones up inside. And they have like a cap over the top and cap over the bottom, and then underneath the kneecap they scrape that out. You keep your same kneecap, scrape that out, and they put a metal plate underneath the kneecap. And I don't know what they use. I don't know what they use for tendons. I guess I'll find all that out later. So I just thought I'd put out this video about me getting ready to go have the surgeries. I'll try to keep a whole playlist like I did with my other ones, so maybe somebody can watch mine later and benefit from it. And I hope if you're having to go through knee replacements, hope yours goes well. Hope mine goes well. And they're going to do both my knees, but they'll probably do them, she said, maybe 12 weeks apart. Like I'll do my right knee and get it built up and going good. Then they'll do my left knee. And so then I'll both my knees going. Then that's the main thing is I want to make some trips, and it's going to require a lot of walking. And right now if I walk for an hour or two, my knees are killing me. I can't hardly bend them and get around for the next few days. So I don't want to deal with that if I'm going on a trip or something. So I'm hoping, this will help with that. And the good news is they said that, if I had this done I don't know how long ago, it was 10 or 15 years ago or something, back then, the new replacement joints were only lasting, especially if you got a lot of weight. More weight you have on you, which I got too much, the shorter they last. And so back then, I was doing good, probably get 7 or 8 years out of a knee replacement. And now they've got better equipment, better stuff. I should be able to get 20 years out. And, that'd be great. I'm 62, so if I can go to 82, who needs at 82? None of us know how long we're going to live, so I'm just going to get them fixed so I can enjoy while I'm here. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll put this in a playlist, even though it'll be the first one. And then, like I said, this is the end of January, middle of February, I go for a pre-op visit. And I have to go get a physical. Talk to the doctor, then I go to the hospital, get a physical. And then in March, I get my first knee replaced. So I'll try to make a video, at each milestone. And then I'll make recovery videos probably every week or so whenever I can, after the surgery. And, and I'll put all that in a playlist. And so it'll just be all one spot. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now.